smaller bus that far, just in general, all of them. Like,
So you gotta take the big one.
those, yeah, and the big ones were $5,000.
Yeah.
But that, so, you know, it was a lot more expensive.
Yeah. All right, we good to go? All right. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know if I actually need the microphone. Can everybody hear me? Okay.
I got the cordless one if you needed it, so I didn't know.
Do I need it?
No.
Yeah. Okay, good. So, we're all set.
Super.
So this morning we're going to talk about gratitude, and being that it's Thanksgiving, right? That's a perfect time to do it. And I guess for those of you who don't know me, my name is Danielle Grove, and what I do for a living is mindfulness training. I help people to deal with stress and anxiety and chronic pain, and just kind of helping people to get into a better mindset. So that's why I was asked to come here. And then one of the things that I teach is meditation, because that's one of the greatest ways to really get into your mind and into your body to just kind of see what's going on and check in with yourself, because we don't often do that. So there's a lot of wonderful and amazing benefits of meditation, but I thought instead of sitting here telling you all of these things, I want today to be experiential. So we're going to do a meditation. Anybody here meditate at all? I know you've done a couple. Do you meditate? Do you do it regularly? Mm-hmm. Oh, good. This will be easy for you then. Some people it's a little harder to practice sitting still and having your eyes closed and actually going inward, but I'll try not to make it too painful today. So we're going to just go ahead and we're going to do some meditations, but what I wanted to just kind of explain to you is a little bit of, at least, it's just how your mind works about it. So I wanted to kind of start with a funny story. And there's Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, and they go camping. And so they are on their trip, it's nighttime, they have dinner, they drink a bottle of wine, and they crawl in their tent and they go to sleep. And then partway through the night, Holmes nudges over to Watson and he's like, hey, look up, what do you see? And Watson's, taking a minute to wake up, and he's like, I don't know, I see 1,000,000 stars. And he's like, okay, so what does that tell you? And Watson kind of thinks about it for a moment, and he's like, well, astronomically, it tells me that there's millions of galaxies and potentially, billions of planets. And astrologically, I don't know, I observe Saturn is in Leo, and time-wise, I deduce it's 3:15. Theologically, I can see that, God is all-powerful and we are insignificant and tiny. And I don't know, meteorologically, it's going to be a beautiful day. He's like, why? What does it tell you? Holmes pauses for a moment, and then he looks over to Watson. He's like, Watson, you idiot. Someone stole our tent. So, but I'm punched. The point of that story, as cheesy as it is that it illustrates the distinctive patterns of how we think and where our attention goes, right? So Watson was always trying to have his attention on pleasing Sherlock and trying to, impress him somehow. Sherlock is always looking for what's wrong, what's missing, trying to find and solve that problem.
Somebody put Watson down.
Yeah. And you do that every day yourselves, right? You have a pattern and a habit of how you think and how you look for things. You scan around, and there's just some people that are so negative, right? And they're like Eeyores all the time. And then you can have the optimist, and sometimes you're like, how is it that you always find the silver lining and everything? And that's because they've trained themselves to do that. And so we can do that. We have choices about what comes in and out of our minds, but we sometimes forget, and it becomes very repetitive. We have 86,000 thoughts that come into our mind every day. And oftentimes they're the same ones, and they're repetitive. And what happens is, right where your thoughts go is where energy flows. And so you get that groove that goes deeper and deeper, and you start believing these things. So these things about yourself, maybe that you're thinking, start to become your truth. Maybe somebody told you somewhere along the way that you're not a very good singer, and that stuck. And then the next time something comes and you need to sing, and then you don't feel confident about it, and you're like, yeah, that's because I'm not a really good singer. And you tell yourself that every time, and by the time you get to be, our age, that groove is so deep, and that belief has come to be your truth. So it's really important that we change some of those things that we think about ourselves and how we look when we look inward. So before I go into the real meditation, we're going to do a quick little example of this. I want everybody to kind of close your eyes for a minute. And I want you to conjure up the word in your mind, trouble. And I want to hear yourself saying it into yourself. And you can even add emphasis to it, right? Of trouble, trouble, or however you hear it being said. And then pay attention. What does it feel like in your body? In your heart, your mind, your body? Everybody has that. Click delete for a moment. Pause. Erase your little whiteboard. And then, now with your eyes still closed, I want you to think of the word kindness. And say that over and over in your head again and add however you want of your own inflections in that word. And think about how does that feel in your body. When you're ready, you open up your eyes. Anybody notice a difference in those two words and how they make you feel?
More positive, obviously, for me anyway.
Right.
The
So,
kindness part.
it's just a word,
Yeah.
right? But it really affects your mind, your body, and your spirit of how you feel. It's going to affect how you relate to people, how you talk to people. So you have this superpower inside of you to think different things. And so you have to tell yourself different things, right? Because the most important collaboration that's going to happen is between you and your thoughts. And how you feel about everything comes down to two things. It's the pictures that you create in your mind and the words that you tell yourself. Those two things control everything that you experience in life. So tell yourself better things. Picture better things. If you don't like how something is working and how something is going on in your life, change it. And I know it sounds like, there's something huge and there's dramatic and you don't understand what's going on in my life. There's always a part of it that you can. There's always some little piece of it that you can change that can start to turn other things around by how you think about it, by how you picture it, by how you change your perspective of it. So the thought is that, first you make your beliefs and then your beliefs make you. So to show you this, we're going to do a meditation on gratitude because doing gratitude meditations are really a great exercise for your brain. When you are thankful, if you just even spend or just a few minutes every morning and then every night, and things that you're thankful for, name 3 of them. What you're thankful for, it's coming up for your day, and then at night, 3 things that you're thankful for, how your day went and what happened. If you did that for 21 days, you will actually rewire your brain. And you can even ask Bob Thompson, the brain guy, he will tell you that it's true, that it really does work and there is rewiring. So we'll practice that, and then I'm going to go into the bowls, and I will play the bowls. So these sound bowls, this is another form of meditation. So you can meditate on your words and your thoughts, but then you can also just sit and listen to sounds. And those also, and these vibrations that you'll hear from the bowls also change and affect the vibrations in your body. And they affect them at a cellular level. We are 70% water, and water has its own vibration to it. And so when you play these bowls and it changes that, it calms your stormy seas that are in your body, and it will relax you at a cellular level. So does anybody have hearing aids in? Because you might want to turn them down. I'll tell you when I'm going to start the bowls, and then, because they can be a little bit painful for hearing aids. So if everybody's ready, just find a comfortable position, maybe put your coffees down. We'll meditate for just about 15 minutes, and then I'll play the bowls for about 15 minutes. Are there any questions at all?
Are you going to tell us how to meditate?
I am. I'm
Okay.
going to guide you the whole way through. So you're going to
Okay.
hear me talking. I'm going to put these pictures in your head of what you should think about, and then I'm going to pause when I do pause, it's maybe only going to be for like a minute. So I'll give you time to create that image in your head, and then I'll move on to the next thing. So if at any time there's a pause and you're like peeking, like, are we done? I will let you know when we're done. I will tell you to bring your awareness back to your body, and then you'll know that we're done. Okay? So everybody just closes their eyes, and however you're comfortable, your hands can be wherever you'd like. And first, you always start with your breath. And so just take some nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just allow yourself to settle into this space. Breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just getting comfortable with that breath. And noticing just what's happening in your body right now. And noticing it without judging it. Just maybe there's a lot of chatter in your mind. Maybe there's a lot of anxiety of not quite sure what this is about. Maybe you've got a lot of things going on yet today. So Just see if you can push all of that stuff to the side. Tell it you'll address it later, but right now you're going to focus on the present moment. And then bring your awareness to the position of your body and just feel your body. If there's any aches or pains, or maybe it's feeling really great today, just notice it again, not judging it. Just allow all the worries of the world right now to just fall away. You can even visualize some of them falling off to the left side of you, some of them falling off to the right side of you. But just you and your energy vibrating and slowing into a beautiful state of comfort right now. So we're going to place our attention on the word gratitude. And we're going to start with something simple. And it's something that you're experiencing maybe just at this very moment. It could be the joy you feel from being in church this morning, maybe a smile on your face as you realize how nice it was to have a cookie and a coffee. Just relaxing into the experience and knowing that you're pausing in the midst of your busy life to try this right now. So choose one thing and then just allow yourself to experience it. Let the appreciation and the gratitude arise in your body, and just fill your mind for a few moments. I'm going to ask you to think of someone that you don't know very well, but who has supported your experience today in some way. It could be one of our pastors from the service this morning. It could be the people volunteering at the church today. Or maybe you're reading a really great book right now and you're thankful for the author of that book. But just allow yourself to feel how you've benefited from the gift of their work. Allow yourself to feel appreciation and gratitude for them, and just sit in that moment for a few. Ask you to think about some tools that you use that support your work or your life. Maybe things like your computer, or books that you use, any kind of equipment that maybe even medical equipment, something that helps you feel healthy, or your car that gets you to all the places that you need to go. But just choose one thing and then consider all that was needed for its creation. And then appreciate and feel gratitude that you have access to those tools. And take a moment and just focus your attention on that. Now I'm going to ask you to feel gratitude for people that you work with or live with or that you deal with every day, but to think of a particular person whose work or effort directly supports your work in life. Appreciate their contribution, their good intention, and say in your mind to them, visualize them, and just say, thank you. Spend a moment in your mind with them. Now I want to ask that you bring to mind someone that you really care about. And picture them in your mind in detail. Like you're looking right at them, noticing the features in their face, their hair, their stance, all the wonderful things about them. And then think about what this person means to you. Thinking about what you appreciate about them and who they are. Maybe going and thinking about things that you've experienced together, or just the impact that they've had on your life. And as you imagine them, notice what feelings you're experiencing, what sensations you detect in your body, especially those in the area around your heart. Let yourself express gratitude towards them, thanking them for being who they are and for their presence in your life. And in your imagination, as you spend a few minutes with them, just imagine them receiving your gratitude. As you bring these things into your mind for what you're grateful for, allow yourself to just rest in that experience. And take a moment just to even appreciate that. How wonderful it is maybe to visit some of these people that you've brought into your heart space. That you're taking time for these happy thoughts and memories. Think about how it's feeling in your body. When you cultivate the practice of gratitude, you may find that you're able to also be grateful for difficult or unpleasant experiences. As you practice gratefulness, you can learn to find a little something in everything. In James 1:2-4, James encourages us to look at the trials of our lives as opportunities for maturity and growth, and not as obstacles and hindrances. Reads, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." So now I invite you to bring to mind an experience in your life that is challenging, one for which you would like to be able to express gratitude. Offer your gratitude and appreciation. Thank this challenge for what it may offer you, for the growth maybe that you're gaining from it, or or that you did gain from it. Gratitude for our bodies, our minds. Gratitude for the simple fact that we're alive in this moment. Whatever that challenge is, just spend a moment here. See if you can find something in it where you can be grateful. And finally, appreciate the opportunity to pause and experience this very practice. Being thankful and grateful for all that you brought to your mind during this meditation and for all the countless gifts that you have in your life. And in your mind, just say thank you. Thank you to all the people, to all that is around you, to all that's a part of you, for all that you've experienced in your life, for all of this, thank you. And allow the sense of gratitude to fill you completely as you breathe in and breathe out. Just staying settled in that breath right now and being alive and present in this very moment. Just enjoy the sounds of the bowls, allow them to absorb into you, into the vibrations. And just hold on to that intention of gratitude for yourself, for your body, for all of the things around you. And when we're finished with the sounds, I'll invite you back to your awareness. So just stay seated where you are now. Now begin the moment. moment and look around the room. Just kind of get your presence back to the present moment here. Well, what did everybody think? Were you able to go into and find some things to be grateful for? And anybody want to share any thoughts that they had? Or
Guess I've never meditated that long. You know, that's interesting because I felt very calm.
mm-hmm.
And yet, so it was, I don't know, how many minutes was it? I'm interested.
It ended up being probably about 25 minutes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I found I was having trouble. I kept wanting to wander,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a lot easier with the bowls.
Okay.
The sounds I was able to really focus on.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the sound too, it's helpful, usually if you lay down on a yoga mat, to really kind of allow yourself to rest into it. I mean, you can use, it's fine, to sit up, but this is something you can find, on YouTube. There's videos with people who play the bowl, so if you find them relaxing, it's much more enjoyable in person because you can actually feel the vibrations that you miss that part of it on a video, but the videos and the sounds that you can find are really soothing and are great for helping you to fall asleep at night, because it does just that. It relaxes you to that point, that cellular level, that you just kind of get lost in the different sounds and stuff that there are. And, but I think with the meditation I prefer guided meditations because my mind will wander.
Yeah.
And I start thinking about other things, but then like the next kind of question or whatever comes up that kind of brings you back, like, okay, wait, this is what I'm supposed to be thinking about.
That's what happened.
Yeah, but meditation's a practice. It's some days it's easier, some days it's really challenging. Some topics are really hard, and you don't want to meditate because you know where it's going to go or where it's going to take you, and you subconsciously you fight it because you don't want to open that door and you don't want to go there. But that's exactly and precisely where you need to go and spend your time and your attention, because we all have feelings and emotions and things that we need to deal with. And if we keep pushing them aside, the kids that I work with, I always tell it it's like your backpack, where you just get these stresses and you shove them in because you don't want to deal with it. You don't have time, you're busy, and you push it in and you push it in. And then it ends up eventually the zippers break and snap because there's so much stuff in there. And so that's when you yell or you snap at somebody who maybe you didn't mean to, that actually had nothing to do with anything else that you have going on. And then as you start to unpack all that, there's sometimes that yucky granola bar that's stuck at the bottom, or, and then it's like gotten onto your notebook, right? So that's kind of what happens too, is sometimes some of your bad emotions start going off into other parts and other things in your life or other things in your backpack, right? So that yucky granola bar now messed up your math notebook, and now that's all sticky, and you think about it every time you go in a math class and you got to pull those pages apart because something got stuck in. So if you think about that with your life, right, where if you don't pay attention to some of these things and address some of these things, you'll find it starts to overflow and get sticky into other parts of your life that you don't need it to be that way. But if you come back to meditation or sound or whatever it is that helps to give you peace and calm, just practice and find these different things. That's why I wanted to do it 2 different ways, so that you can see it's not always just one thing. And one day the sound might be great, and the next day you're like, oh, my head hurts, I don't want to hear this. You just want to sit in silence and in quiet, and then you do that meditation. So whatever it is that works for you is really what's best.
I have a disc that has the rainforest in the back, dripping rain. It's very peaceful.
Well, because probably somewhere in your life that was peaceful to you, right? So this is where it comes into your experiences, and what makes you happy is it's based on your experiences from your past in your life. So you and I can be doing the exact same thing, but if I was in a bad storm one time, maybe I survived a tornado or something. Rain might terrify me, where to you it's beautiful and it's soothing. And we're in the same place at that time, but our life experiences have shaped our beliefs and what we feel about things. So that's why it's important to kind of find what's individualized for yourself that brings you joy and happiness.
One of the quick questions. Is meditation that very akin to prayer? I mean, is there a relationship
Very
there?
much so.
Any kind of?
You can
How do
just
you
sit-
see that? Because I see it.
Sure.
I didn't know if that was.
That was good.
Yeah, you can sit in, you can focus on one part of scripture that you like. You can just find a verse and you just repeat that over and over in your head. I mean, sometimes for me, it's just be still, right? So I can just sit there and just close my eyes and just think, be still and, know that I am, that I'm here, I just want to feel Him. I have a great meditation that I did with our faith and fitness group where you go on this little journey into a garden and you meet Jesus and you sit with Him and you tell Him all the things that are on your heart. And so meditation can go both ways. It can be just you sitting and asking Jesus to come and be with you and just fill you with whatever it is that you need and being quiet. Because in prayer, we always are, kind of asking for things or telling Him what's on our mind and our thoughts, but then sometimes we don't listen. So meditation can also be that time to listen. Invite God in and just say, all right, I'm sitting here and I'm focused and I'm paying attention to you right now. What do you want me to know? What do you want to fill me with? It's empty me and fill me with you. You can just sit in that sometimes too. So there's a lot of different ways to blend all of this stuff together.
I was amazed that 25 minutes went so quickly. I mean, I thought, my land, as I said, it was very absorbent to the point where I was almost falling asleep. Very relaxing.
Yeah, that's the tricky part, is to not fall asleep,
Yeah.
right? To get into the right brain wave. Yeah.
I knew I was sleeping.
But if you do fall asleep, don't let that stop you.
No.
Right? Maybe sometimes that's just what you need.
Yes.
And even in our sleep, and if you're sitting up, you're not really like into a deep, deep sleep, right? So you're still processing. Your subconscious is still working and it's still hearing those words. That's why people in hospitals, when they're unconscious or in comas and such, oftentimes they can hear you. They can process what you're saying, and it's the same thing. So it's always, saying positive, happy things and talking to them, because it's just your brainwaves that change a little bit that help you relax. So, we need to get going. So thank you for. I know.
Thank you.
Yeah.